दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
विज्ञान की सत्ता की चेकिंग कैसे करेंगे? हाथ तक का विज्ञान हाथ तक के स्थूल साधनों द्वारा सुख और आराम की अनुभूति कराते। आपका विज्ञान है योग शक्ति, योग परिपरा विज्ञान। वहाँ है साधन और यहाँ है साधना। आत्मा को मन और बुद्धि के साधना द्वारा कितना दूर ले जाते हो। हद के विज्ञानी सूर्य तक नहीं पहुंच सके, और बेहद के विज्ञानी चंद्रमा सूर्य से भी पार मन और बुद्धि के साधना द्वारा कितने समय में पहुंचते हो। और कितना खर्चा लगता है। समय को कहते हैं टाइम इज मनी। स्थूल मनी तो नहीं लगती, लेकिन टाइम की मनी भी नहीं लगती। कितना बड़ा विज्ञान है। वो एयर कंडीशन द्वारा सुख देते हैं, आराम देते हैं। और आप साधना द्वारा सदा जब चाहो तब शीतल स्थिति का अनुभव करो। जब चाहो तब ज्वाला रूप का शक्ति रूप का अनुभव कर सकते। हद का विज्ञान थोड़े समय के लिए आराम देने के निमित्त बनता है, लेकिन बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Avyak signals. Become brahmachari, one who follows the activities of Father Brahma. The basis of greatness in Brahmin life, the basis of closeness, is to be celibate from childhood. That is, always to be celibate, which is also known as following the Father. Those who remain constant in this also experience attainments constantly. An on and off effort maker would experience temporary attainments. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 6. Karankaravarhar. Always be a trustee. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Yes, lovely to see all of you. I had been reflecting still on those 4 authorities and how to become carefree emperor. Because that will be most needed. There will always be some situations and issues of concern, and that concern can consume our mind, have wasteful thoughts, or could become worry. And Baba wants us to be carefree, king emperors. But what is very important, which this morning I was read and I could feel it, that every authority first is the art of living. It's so interesting that if I am doing something or I have achieved something, then only I can have authority, not because I know about it. I don't know how many of you notice that for every one, like religion, authority of religion, is the art of living. For all 3, and of course elevated actions also becomes art of living. So when I have art of living, that means I am living that style or that way, then it becomes authority. It made very clear to my mind that unless I am expert in that, right? I have power of that, I cannot be authority. Whether it is balance of love and law, whether it is power and happiness, but it has to be, it should your command on it, that means art of living. Maybe you should read it again today. I was possible to have little time. So I was reading and I found that very elevated to think of that if I have art of living, then I have authority also of that, whether it is religion or whether it is governance or science or elevated actions. I still few times today was able to remember that I am the soul and I am feeding this body. Brahma Baba had this consciousness that Shiv Baba is using his body. Of course, Shiv Baba won't eat, but there were some other actions. Baba at that time used to tell us a lot, especially bathing, right? Baba says you don't need to use intellect, right? There are certain actions you need to use, like concentration, and some are very natural. So when Baba used to bathe, and at that time they used to have tumblers like mug, big bucket and tumbler. So Baba will pour it on the body with the thought, I am bathing the body of Shiv Baba. Like in temples, no, they pour water on Shivaling. So I also had few times like, yeah, soul is feeding the body. And I found that the feelings when food is going in is not just eating food, but it was completely different. Remembrance of Baba while eating is different experience, but this is I am soul feeding this body because this body is the chariot and I have to feed it. So I found that there were different kind of feelings about the food, about the way to eat, and that was one of the experiment I did. But also I was thinking why we are only thinking what Karankaravarhar to do. But what Karankaravarhar wants me to do, and I offer myself, prepare myself as open readiness, willingness to do what Baba has to tell me to do. And then see what Karankaravarhar wants me to do. That means I become Nimit there. What can I do so that Karankaravarhar can use me? It's very, very interesting that like today's concept of trusteeship, there are some qualities which are very incognito. They're not visible. One is trusteeship. I always say that to gain the trust of Baba and Dadis brings lot of not only closeness, but they feel that yes, we can do, we can take responsibility, we will fulfill the task we are given. And that's such a uh, enjoyable in Brahmin life to have trust, or in other words, to become worthy of trust, trustworthy. It's a very beautiful feeling when you think inside. I was thinking about it that that's like belonging to Yagya. I remember that the sweet joy which I used to always experience, Baba's trust on me, not only trust as trustee, but trust also as that if I give this child this task, she will not only accomplish it, but do everything honestly. And that sweet attainment feeling of being trustee of God. And of course, if Baba trusts you, Dadis will trust you, everyone will trust you. Their bhavana. Like we knew that Dadi Janki, her every thought, every scent she got, everyone knew that she will use it for yajna. Everyone knew. It's not she going to buy something for her, have something expensive for her because she got so much. No. Even we know that wealth is a very physical, mundane thing, but it's very connected with honesty. Because that is where, like, my feeling always is that whatever comes to Baba is from Baba's children, and they have given to Baba, they have offered to Baba, right? So how do I use it? Because that is where I create elevated actions also, when I use it in worthwhile way. So it had been given to Baba, but we are the instruments who use honestly, sensibly, and doing unlimited tasks from that. So that trusteeship, wealth is also a big thing. But what is very incognito in that is our own thoughts. And also time, right? All these are our resources, our treasures. So I have to be trustee for that, right? Not wasting anything. So these qualities are very subtle. And the record of these qualities is with Baba. I mean, others can notice, others will know, but still Baba knows that how this child uses every thought, every moment, every scent for Baba's service, for Baba's yajna sustenance. It does require accuracy. Sometimes could be sacrificed too. But that is where Baba gives you a multi-million times more. So it's very, very interesting every day to think about my relationship with Karankaravarhar and Karankaravarhar's relationship with me also. It's not only my relationship, but how Baba could use me. We do a lot of service, but for some we know, oh, it must be Baba. So look at your qualities as trustee. Am I totally just a trustee? And then the Karankaravarhar's trust on you. Baba makes us instrument then for serving in unlimited way, unlimited capacity. So it's very interesting to reflect, to practice, to experiment, and lot of new thoughts, different details of the same concept or the aspect emerges very clearly in the intellect. And one experience is elevated because you are doing it, right? Om Shanti. Mm.
Good evening, Didi, Om Shanti, everyone. It was so beautiful. I love always listening about trust and trustee, and I love the way you connected that if we look at our qualities as a trustee, then Baba will make us an instrument and, have trust in us to and make us instruments for unlimited task. It was very nice. Would you like to share a little bit more on that? Or should I go on to the next question? Okay, next question. One of the things you were saying that when that wealth is connected with honesty, and how we use this wealth, and it's very connected, incognitally connected with our own thoughts. And in the Murli, Baba was talking about how wealth is, time is wealth. And somehow I feel that sometimes we lose that perspective that time is wealth and we just focus on wealth. What would you say to all of us who are losing that perspective of wealth and connected with honesty and, that our incognito thoughts and about wealth?
This whole limit of, when we are trustworthy, Baba's trust on us, make us instrument for unlimited service. It's like Baba gives you, responsibility of, unlimited. Let's say you are accurate and you are very honest with wealth. Then Baba makes you responsible to take care of the bigger, it's like in the bigger and bigger way of the yajna, gives you role of unlimited. Not only one center, but it keeps growing and growing. But also time where to spend is also very important, right? Now, there is someone who can be on computer, right? And keep seeing and reading and doing a lot of things which are not really part of service, right? But let's say it's their hobby or their interest, so they keep doing it.
Right.
And I see them for a few hours. And I always say, but if you are Baba's surrendered child, then you have to have honesty of time too.
Absolutely. Yes.
Why I have to, okay, you are trying to investigate or trying to look into certain things, but have limit, in the sense of if I have to do it, let's say for health products, I have to find out which is good for me, what is not. So you can do it, but there has to be limit, right?
Right.
You
right.
cannot just spend hours and hours. So I think that's where money. Now, one of the concept in Baba's yagya, which I think Ramesh Pai really used to tell us that because we are all volunteers, let's say in Peace Village, if we had to pay those who are cooking, those who are cleaning, those who are doing everything, I don't think we could be able to manage. But because we are volunteers, right? So now Baba is sustaining us, we are volunteers. So we have also to be honest, isn't it, with our time. And one of the good record for a trustee is whatever your duty is to make it in time and complete that duty. There are some, they won't reach in time. They kind of avoid certain things. But I always say, let's say, if you are at home, right? You have a place, you will clean it, you will wash dishes, you will cook for yourself, do everything, isn't it? Even that much share if I do when I am in a bigger group, so there will be a lot of honesty.
Right. Right.
Whether it is in duties, whether it is time, or even full concentration, like, oh, I do it because I have to do it, but they not, what you did was not of quality. That means somewhere you're not honest, right? So
Right.
that your concentration is not there. You're doing it because you have to do it, but to do it with bhavana, to do it like I'm receiving and I'm supposed to somewhere return that, or just out of love. This is the idea, no? So whether it is cleaning, whether it is cooking or doing anything, but there will be honesty. So that's, I call it that honesty of time and duties and whatever your responsibility is, right?
When you said that there are thoughts are our own thoughts are incognitively connected with this thing, do you think there's like particular sanskaras that make us, let's say I'm not doing something accurately, let's say it's something as simple as cutting vegetables, I'm just like doing whatever I want and and I leave. So what sanskara would that be that we are not, like with love, we are not doing for the yajna, with love, we are not being honest about time?
Mm. Yeah, I think somewhere they are pulled in a different direction. They are doing action. I always say to people, if your mind, intellect, and hands are together, it can do wonders. But your mind is somewhere else. Intellect and hands are in the work, right? But mind, intellect are not there, you know. So it requires, but also there is a joy, you know, in doing something. Like if I have to cut vegetables, I try to cut in the equal pieces and nicely. There are some pieces are long, some are big, some are small. So when you cook, some get melted, some it doesn't cook properly. So I think it's the love for yajna. Again, it's honesty that whatever you do, you know, sometimes I'm sitting and doing something for a long time and people will say, oh, why you have to do it? I said, well, anything we do, the same vegetables, when we make Brahma Bhojan, it will go in our body, right? So
Right.
if I have done with love, that's going in your body. That's real Brahma Bhojan, whether in my body or anyone's body, right? So when you do it with love, it will help other souls to feel that love. You know, when you are cutting vegetable with lot of no, not that I have a task to do, let me finish it quickly. Means not I'm taking hours, but that means your love is not there enough. So in food of Brahma Baba, Brahma Bhojan, other souls will not feel that love. So when they don't feel love, right, they won't respond in the sense of not only appreciation, but the feelings will emerge. Oh, let me offer bhog. Let's do big Brahma Bhojan. I also want to go and do some karma yoga. All these bhavnas should emerge. If the way you're doing it, the response to yajna, which is very incognito, you might not know that why it does happen that people are not doing it with the same bhavna because you didn't do with that bhavna.
Right.
You know, so if I take that thought, I remember one sister always said, whenever I'm cooking, I always say, anyone who eats Brahma Bhojan, their mind should become pure, their love for yajna should increase, their bhavna should increase. And so when you do something, we don't realize there is so much effect of that little action into the response spiritually of so many souls, so many souls. And I have seen, like, if you really make sometimes totally with lot of love, and when you give it, there is so many people want to make toli, want to send toli. So it's not just a simple physical act. In
Right.
yajna, anything I do, whatever quality I put in, I'm giving that contribution to yajna of that quality. That means the souls will experience that and respond that way. So the credits which Baba is putting on you is many times more. So everyone cuts vegetable, but everyone will get different credits.
Right.
The bhavna in that, the love with that, the accuracy with that.
Right.
More I'm saying it, more I am feeling now. That
Yes,
how
it's very
important,
deep what you're sharing. Yeah.
because it's very important for us, all of us, to be honest in whatever we do, right? Because that action will bring many times fold result. Otherwise, it will be just simple, maybe a good action, but not necessarily it brings manifold response. Right?
Right. Right. um, while you're talking, I've been thinking that when Baba says, like yesterday's Murli is saying, you're Saubhagyashali, And, and some people are just bhagyashali, right? We are doing the same action. Some people are saubhagyashali because they doing it with love and honesty and that really love for Baba and the yajna and things like that. And the return they get is so much more.
And then when they do with love, you don't feel anything is too much, right?
Right.
Like Sister Shireen, every time, oh, I can make breakfast. Okay, there are 100 people. 100 people eat dosa, potatoes, and it's not a big thing. I sometimes say, why she has to? Again, I am hearing Shireen wants to make lunch today. And it's so nice. So just imagine that you don't feel heavy about it, right? Or difficult.
No.
Yeah,
It's
she's so easy. But if you tell someone you have to make breakfast, even for two, they will make face and, oh, really, I have to do that. And here you are saying, I want to do it for 100. So it's not, I think love and bhavna will increase capacity to do. If there is no love and bhavna, everything is too much. Everything is difficult. Because they're not saying that each action is a big asset, what we're contributing to yajna. It's
right.
not only wealth, right? It's every moment, every action is a big contribution to Mahayagya, right? That
Right.
is why in the beginning when we went to Madhuban, one day out of 5 days was all cooking. One day was just cleaning the grains. That's 5 days we did karma yoga there every
Amazing.
group.
Yeah, that's great. Didi, I know people who are just stuck, right? They're stuck in their story. They will tell you the same story 5 years ago, the same story 5 years from now. And I feel they don't know the secret that you're sharing, the secret that, just change it and everything will change. Just change your bhavna for something and everything will change.
Because I think that a lot of people see service more intellectually, sitting in office or doing paperwork. They think that's the service, but they don't realize. Let's say what is service? If I am in yajna and I don't get proper Brahma Bhojan, will I be able to do service? Right? So if I'm cooking and people are being fed and they do service, there will be a lot more of for the one who is cooking than those who are serving. Those who are doing like service of just speaking or rolling out papers and on computer, that has become like a more like a work, in the sense of for them like seva and service. When we used to say to Didi, we are going for service, she said, no, you're going for seva. Because seva is
But
bhavana.
seva bhav is there.
Yeah, seva bhav. But service is like more external, very external. They
Right.
don't realize that it's bringing some burden also on the soul, profit and also losing something.
Right. Very interesting. Didi, time's up, but I did want to talk about the art of living, but time's up. That was very, very nice what you shared about the art of living, that you need expertise and experience. But for tomorrow.
I was very touched by, actually, honestly, since long I wanted to read it properly, but this morning I had little time. And I was so amazed that how come we missed that aspect of Jeene ki kala, art of living. So I thought that's so good, to think of everything as art of living. And when you live that way, you have authority because that's your real life, no? You're practical.
Right. And you don't get it just by knowing about something or thinking about something. It has to be, you have to experience
You
it.
have to live. You have to live.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Homework for tomorrow. Karankaravarhar, always be a trustee. Karankaravarhar Swami, Lord who acts and inspires others to act, will always inspire you to do that which is elevated. There is a lightness in being a trustee. unless you become light, you cannot have decision-making power. If you are a trustee, you are light, and your decision-making power is also elevated. Therefore, always be a trustee. The feeling of being a trustee, an instrument, is fruitful. This feeling will always continue to give you elevated fruit. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much. We feel like keep sitting and listen, right? Thanks a lot. So now let's go to our sweet home Madhuban. Welcome to Awake the Journey, Gyan Sarovar, the lake of knowledge where angels study. So, pilots, we are ready with our bag baggage, with boarding pass. We are here.
पहुँचे हम मधुबन तो देखा अनोखा
Education is the vehicle for transmission of cultures.
पर अगर आपका अच्छा लगा ना, अच्छा लगा कर अपना, तो अभी भी आते रहना। तुमको सुन कम सुन, बहुत अच्छा।
Om Shanti. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was wonderful how they make toli, right? So we always eat toli, but now we know how to make toli, right? How they make toli, and we can learn how to make toli. Thank you. So tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll be having bhog offering in the evening with the Vyakti Parivar, and also 5 to 6 we will be having Sakar English Murli with translation. Rest of the schedule will remain same. So now let's reflect on homework, and then we'll take Drishti from Didi, remembering Baba.
Karankaravarhar, always be a trustee. Karankaravarhar, Swami, Lord, who acts and inspires others to act, will always inspire you to do that which is elevated. There is a lightness in being a trustee. Unless you become light, you cannot have decision-making power. If you are a trustee, you are light, and your decision-making power is also elevated. Therefore, always be a trustee. The feeling of being a trustee, an instrument, is fruitful. This feeling will always continue to give you elevated fruit.
Karankaravarhar, Sada trustee ban. करनकरावनहार स्वामी सदा ही श्रेष्ठ कराएंगे, ट्रस्टीपन में हल्कापन होता है। जब तक हल्के नहीं तो निर्णय शक्ति भी नहीं है। ट्रस्टी है, हल्के हैं तो निर्णय शक्ति श्रेष्ठ है। इसलिए सदा ट्रस्टी हैं, निमित्त है। यह भावना फलदायक है। तो यह भावना सदा श्रेष्ठ फल देती रहेंगी। ओम शांति।
Om Shanti. Good night to everyone. Carefree kings, right? Carefree empress. Good night. Om Shanti.